What's up guys, today I'll be showing you my exact PPC strategy that I use to launch every single new product that comes in for me. I'll show you where to get your first keywords for your campaigns, what campaigns you should be starting with, what campaigns you should be focusing on down the line, all the way to what your biz and budget should look like. This is the exact strategy I use for all my six-figure products when they first got started out. Also, later in this video, I'll be showing you a tip and a trick that no one else is teaching out there in PPC, something that's given me thousands of additional sales, campaigns even down to 8% ACoS, which is crazy. It's a strategy no one else is using, so its bids are super low right now. So make sure you stay tuned to the rest of this video to figure out what that is. Alright guys, let's go ahead and dig right into this right away. We'll jump into my computer and go ahead and do everything step by step, and I'll walk you through everything. So I made here a Word doc that kind of goes over everything step by step. That way we can kind of follow along. There's a lot to this process, and so I just wanted to be organized with it, give a nice structure for you guys. So launching a product with PPC, how I start my PPC campaigns for a new product. Let's jump right in here. So first of all, you gotta know what PPC is, Amazon PPC. What PPC stands for is pay per click, and then obviously the Amazon part is just because it's in Amazon system. It's their biggest marketing tool for sellers, and we'll share it with you here and kind of show you what's going on. So all that is these sponsored listings here. That's Amazon's pay per click, right? Someone's going on the back end of their Seller Central account, and they're making a campaign, and they're targeting lemon squeezers. So telling Amazon, hey, every time someone searches lemon squeezer, I want to show up here to potentially get a sale. It just kind of gives you more traffic. If your listing's up there, good price, good reviews, good photos, then you're gonna get good sales. Then PPC is also cool because the more sales you get, the more chances you are of getting reviews, of ranking up in certain keywords too. Say, for lemon squeezer, say this guy is getting all the sales here at this sponsored ad. Well, he's gonna naturally increase his rank up for organic searches as well. So that's what you want. Your goal is to be right here at 3,600 reviews like this guy. The goal is to be in these top spots so you get the most organic sales. But this is another way to kind of figure out what keywords work best for your products and to get extra sales, right? So if you say this guy's profit margin's at 40% and he's got an ACoS of 20%, meaning that only 20% of his budget goes to, or 20% of his price point of $10.99, which is around just over $2, is going per purchase. That means he's making around another 20% because his profit margin is around 40. He's spending around 20% of that to get a sale, and he's making money per sale. So anytime you can make more money, I think people are down. And then obviously there's some back end benefits like ranking increasing, and then kind of figuring out what your best keywords are as well. So that's what Amazon PPC is. Stepping into this, step one is setting up discovery campaigns. So when you get a new product, you don't really know what keywords work best. Yeah, you have a good idea, right? If it's a lemon squeezer, lemon squeezer is up there, but you're not 100% sure what keywords people are using to buy your product, right? Maybe one lemon squeezer for some reason gets a lot more sales when someone types in lemon squeezer large, or one person prefers another lemon squeezer when someone types in lemon squeezer small. Maybe they're identical sizes, but for some reason something triggers in the customer's brain, and they think of that product when they type in those keywords, and they're more likely to buy. So I've started an example. I guess I've started products where I thought I knew what my number one keywords would be, right? I knew My top 5, top 10 keywords would be this. And then I start PPC campaigns in this discovery mode, and then I realize they're totally different than what I ever thought. So it's very important to kind of not assume and kind of make sure you follow data and get your own data here. And that's what these discovery campaigns do, right? So when you're making a discovery campaign, you're going to make one phrase campaign, one broad campaign, and one auto campaign. What these are going to do, the goal here, is to cast a wide net to discover what actual keywords customers are searching to buy your products. You're just, like I said, you're casting a big net. You're trying to figure out what keywords your customers are using to buy your product, and that's going to help you down the line, right? You're going to can start making exact campaigns of these keywords, and then start to dial it in more and more, and get your ACoS down, and then you have a well-oiled, profitable PPC machine. That's what the goal is here, right? So that's how you're going to start. So what I use is Viral Launch to find my top keywords. Again, these are keywords what I think are going to be the best. I'll show you that here on Viral Launch here in a second. You can use Helium 10. You can also use Jungle Scout if they have a keyword tool. I'm not sure yet, but I trust all 3 of those. But I use Viral Launch just because I think it's the most user-friendly and what I've been using for a while. I've actually met the CEO, Casey Goss, who is awesome. So I trust what they do. And going into Viral Launch here, this is their keyword research tool. And I literally could just type in lemon. Let's do this whole example with lemon squeezer. I think, say I'm launching a lemon squeezer, and I think this is my number 1 keyword. I think this will have the most search results, and I think this is what people buy a lemon squeezer with the most when using this keyword. So I'm going to search here to kind of get an idea. We got 31,000 results. Or 31,000 volume per month. So that means 31,000, almost 32,000 people are typing this in per month on Amazon. That's what Viral Launch's tool is telling us. I always like to search, go by volume. So I'll go ahead and just click that to get these up and rolling here. Then I can kind of see other keywords, right? Maybe I didn't type in the right one, or maybe I was off. Juicer, pretty broad term, obviously, but that's got the most searches. Citrus juicer, you gotta say we're in that field for sure. Lemon juicer, orange juicer, lemon. Okay, so these are all, I know they're not all perfect, but they are all in the field here. So let's go ahead and download the CSV here and open that up. And so what you get here is everything, all the keywords here listed out for you with the volumes and all the data. I went ahead and just clicked this top field, went to data, hit filter. This will give me a little tab here so I can sort easily. And like I said, we go descending here to figure out what's got the most volume per month, because that's what you want, right? The ultimate goal is to have your product being bought, from these top keywords. If you're number 1 in lemon squeezer, you're not going to worry about much else in your life, because you're probably going to make a lot of money. But that these are the goals to get up top these keywords. Now, the one thing to take into account here is you want to find keywords based on volume, like I just sorted by, but also relevancy. And now what I mean by that is you want to make sure they're super relevant to your keyword. And we're going to pick 15 to 25 of these to put into our discovery campaigns. And so, we're looking around here, juicer. The number 1 way to figure out if a keyword is relevant or not for you is to go ahead and just search it on Amazon. So we'll go to Amazon here, and what we're looking for is more lemon squeezers. We want to see more of these, and so we're scrolling down. I don't see any of these. So this keyword is not going to be super relevant to us, just because there's not a ton of lemon squeezers on that page. So we might just want to X that one out while we do this. And so we're looking at, we can actually just delete this column here. Or just go delete the row like this. Okay, we don't want anything to do with that one. Okay, lemon squeezer, citrus juicer, orange juicer. Orange juicer, not crazy good there. I know what I'm going to find if I, let's just go type it in just to be sure. Same thing with citrus juicer. Again, not seeing, I see one here, citrus juicer, but that can squeeze lemons obviously too. Let's see, yeah, not a huge fan of that keyword. Let's go ahead and get rid of that one. And then let's check out citrus juicer. I mean, a lemon is citrus, right? Yeah, that's what we're looking for, right? We're looking for this guy's top guy. We got some ads for the same thing, lemon squeezers. You got a nice mix here. It's not as relevant as lemon squeezer, but it's still super relevant. Lemon, obviously gonna be relevant because we're doing lemons. Lime squeezer, lemon squeezer, same thing. Juice press. Now, if we go to juice press, let's check that out. It's a little different there. You see that guy, see that guy. Yes and no. We can probably just keep that in there. So that's kind of what I'm doing here, right? I'm going through these. I'm trying to figure out what keywords are super relevant versus their volume. And I'm going to take the first, let's see here. I'm going to take the first 18 or 19 here. Just because we got a volume estimate of about 1,200 here, I'm going to cut it off at the 1,000 mark and just take 18 here. Now, a lot of people are like, Cameron, why can't you just take all of them and put them in your phrase campaign? Well, you can do that, but I personally haven't seen as great as results doing that. For some reason, when you put in a ton of keywords in one campaign on the Amazon side, for some reason, Amazon will just deem some keywords in that campaign irrelevant and not give you any impressions, no bids, no anything. And so I've had better luck keeping it small, and that way we everything gets bids, everything gets impressions, and I still am confident that we have all the keywords in these 18 keywords to go ahead and get us every single keyword possibility result on Amazon that would for keywords that people are buying from for the lemon squeezer. So I just like to keep it simple and small. I haven't seen any crazy major results by putting all 100 in versus actually just starting, doing 18 of them here. Yeah, I've got an 18 count here. And so I just like to keep it simple. I like to keep it clean. And I am confident that we won't miss any keywords still by just doing these 18. So what we do here is we can just start a new sheet. So what we're going to do, and I like to keep a copy of this sheet and just kind of update it as I go throughout my PPC kind of career with this product. So I'll just go ahead and save this Excel too and just kind of keep all this data. So phrase, I'm going to go ahead and put all that in. Broad is going to be the same. Okay, and so now we have our first 18 keywords to start our two discovery campaigns here. So we're going to put one in phrase and one in broad. Now, so we're actually going to take you to my Amazon account here. I will blur some stuff out. This is actually a group account I just started with some people. We do have a NDA signed, so I'm legally binding not to disclose any of our products on here. It's just still a new account, so there's nothing crazy going on here, but just kind of the respect to the other guys, I'm not going to show anything here. So you'll see some stuff blurred out. but we could still do everything we need to do. So we'll go to create a campaign, sponsor products here, and we'll just do lemon squeezer. Actually, I like to label mine discovery. Lemon squeezer phrase. Daily budget. So for daily budget for the phrase, I like to keep that when I'm first starting at $15. Now that's on the higher side for some people. $15 is a good medium spot. It just depends on what your budget is, right? If you're trying to run lean, you want to start slower. But if you're trying to get keywords and ramp up volume quicker, then put your budget at 30. But I like to start mine at 15. I do this weird thing too. You might see some other sellers doing it. I actually learned it from another seller. But I put it at like 1532 just because for some odd reason I believe that if someone else has got the same campaign as me doing the same products, that if they had a $15 budget and I have a 1532 budget, they're going to go ahead and give me the lean to getting that bid because I have a higher budget, right? I have more money to spend. So they're going to go ahead and just going to give me the advantage. So I always do that. I don't know if it helps or not. There's no way to prove it. Ad group, nothing fancy here. Maybe just type in discovery again so you know what's going on. STR, discovery, lemon squeezer, phrase. Here's where you go ahead and put in your product. You put ad. These are going to be blurred out. So ignore that. But you hit add here, this little button for your product. Now going over these real quick, campaign bidding strategy. Always start with dynamic bids down only. That's like the original bid process for Amazon. They've gotten fancier with dynamic bids up and down and fixed bids. Dynamic bids up and down are good when you have an exact keyword that just works super, super well. You always get purchases if you're in the number one spot. And so that's the only time I would recommend doing that is when you're getting sales at that number one spot and you're already crushing it on that keyword because they will raise your bid by a maximum of 100%. So if you're bidding, $1.50, all of a sudden you could bid $3 for that, and all of a sudden your campaign or your budget just disappears and you don't know why. Well, this is probably why. So stay away from that until you get into a little more advanced stuff. Fixed bids, I just don't see the point in fixed bids quite yet. I'm still learning, I guess. Trying to figure it out, talk to people if they ever use fixed bids, but I haven't heard one person talk about fixed bids. It just doesn't make sense to me because if say fixed bids $1.79, you're always bidding $1.79 no matter what. Well, dynamic bids down only. Well, if you get that opportunity to get the key or the bid for $155 and your bid's set at $179, you're going to pay $155 versus $179 always here. So to me, it just makes sense to do dynamic bids down only, just because it seems like you could save a little bit per bid. Now, picking a bid for phrase campaigns for your discovery method, I like to do about 15 to 25% of my profit margin. So say our lemon squeezer has a $10 profit margin, and so what I would do there is I go right between, and I would do $2. Because that'd be a 20% of our profit margin. So obviously lemon squeezer is a little lower priced item. This is kind of for, say you have a $3 item, you make $10 per purchase, then $2 is at your 20%. Now again, if you have the budget and you want to speed up the process, just go ahead and raise your bid. This will just quickly, you're going to spend a little more, but you're going to find keywords quicker, right? But just to kind of be on the safe side, if you want to do things slowly, run lean, which I always suggest that at the beginning, is I just do 15 to 25% of your profit margin, right? Why I also like this strategy is because these are the, if you win these keywords, which we're looking for, you want to be between your 15 to 25% profit margin range anyways, right? Because you want your A cost to be around there. And so if we're bidding $3 to $4, and that's 50% of our profit margin, and we're finding keywords cool, they work when you bid $3 to $4, but maybe they don't work when you bid $1.50 or $2 when you're trying to get that A cost down and make profitable sales. So it just kind of makes sense to stay within your profit margin because you want to find keywords that are always in that range anyways, and that's what you're working for. So $2 is good there, 20% margin. Keyword targeting, that's what we're doing here. Enter keywords. We're going to go ahead and match type, go to phrase here, grab our 18 keywords, pop them right here, add keywords, and then it won't let me launch this campaign. Don't worry about negative keywords. That gets a little more advanced too. The way I set up campaigns too, you never have to use negative keywords. And so don't worry about that too much. If you want to dig deeper into there, go ahead. There are ways you can use them. But then we'll go ahead and launch campaign. It won't let me do that just because I did not select a product. But that's how you do that. So that is how you start your phrase campaign. Let's go ahead and start let's go back and do the broad real quick. Now the whole goal of these campaigns, guys, are not to be profitable or make sales. They are to make sales, sorry. Not to be profitable at first. So we're doing discovery campaigns because we want to figure out what keywords people are actually searching to buy our product, to make more profitable keyword or campaigns down the line, like exact campaigns. So we're going to do broad or lemon squeezer broad. This one's about the same. I just do a little different on the bidding. So I only do like a 532 budget here. Go manual targeting. Just go ahead and just grab that, throw it down here. Add your product. These will be blurred out, obviously. And then for bids here, I only do about 50 cents. The thing with broad is they hit a lot of keywords that aren't super relevant to your product, which can be good. But if you bid low enough, this could be super helpful. You're gonna, you can get purchases at 50 cents a bid sometimes, maybe even lower. So they're still handy. They're still good. But just be aware that they can eat budgets really fast because you're bidding on a lot of different potential keywords. So that's why I like to keep my bid at 50 cents. Then we go down to enter keywords, keep it up broad here, grab these keywords, which obviously are the same as those, and let's go ahead and enter those in. Awesome. Now, so I'll launch that campaign, and now that's kind of how you start those two first campaigns. Now going back to our sheet here, we started one phrase and one broad. We kept it in the 15 to 25% profit margin for our bid. Example is, why I used that earlier was because I put it right here is, if you have a $30 product, you make $10 in each sale. I will start the bid at $2. This is around 20% of my profit margin. Put my budget around $15. You want this to be your higher one because this will be the best campaign to find your new keywords. These are going to be the most relevant, but also they're going to kind of branch out a little bit into your field and into your niche to find new keywords. So you always want to be on the high side for the phrase. This will be your best campaign to find new keywords and actually get sales in the beginning. Going broad, yep, we did 50 cent bids there, budget around $5. Bonus tip. Yes, we talked about this. If you have a margin and budget and want to find keywords faster, then increase your bids upwards of 30 to 40% of your profit margin there. Fix that there real quick. And this is just during the discovery campaign too. I didn't talk about that. You don't have to do this forever. This is just to find new keywords because the ultimate goal is to move them to the exact campaign, which is where you're gonna hammer down your bids, get your A cost down, get the most sales, be the most efficient. So you could also raise your budgets as well. Next, we'll do an auto campaign. That's just another part of the discovery process. And so we'll go ahead and go to campaign manager again. Create campaign. So I always start at auto just because it just kind of picks up the rest of the slack. Just make sure I didn't forget anything. Discovery, lemon squeezer. auto. Yeah, the budget. I do around $10 at first for this one. Automatic targeting. So you don't do anything. Dynamic bids. Keep that down only. Go ahead and grab this. Excuse me. Pick your product. Bids. I like to do again around that 15 to 25% margin. Actually, on the lower, usually do it on the lower side. I want all my keywords really in sales looking for the phrase campaign, but I just want this to pick up cheap keywords maybe I'm missing. So maybe I'll do like 152 here, which is getting around that 15% profit margin when you have $10, a $10 margin to work with. And then all you do is launch this campaign, and it's good. So auto campaigns, all they're doing is they're going ahead and Amazon's pulling the data from your listing and what you rank for and what you index for. So your title, your product description, your product bullets, your backend search terms, subject matter, and all those backends. They're pulling keywords from that to determine what you're relevant for, and they're bidding on that. So it's just kind of a good way to kind of test to see what they find too, and make sure you don't have any lapse in coverage and discovery. So once that's done, we can kind of move on. Now, these 3 campaigns, again, are just called Discover campaigns. I'm just using the keyword tool to get an educated guess of what I think my customers will be searching to buy my product. And so that's all this is. This is just, it's discovery, and you're just trying to find products that kind of move on and get into your exact campaigns. Next, you'll go into seeing your results. You'll do this after like 4 to 7 days to make sure you're getting clicks and starting to see a few sales. Now, something to remember though, these campaigns will most likely not be profitable at first. That is why they're called discovery campaigns. I know I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Don't expect to have a 20% A cost when doing these campaigns. You're just finding keywords to kind of help you move forward and get into exact campaigns down the line. The cool thing is when you're just starting, it's a new product, you're also just trying to get as many sales as possible, right? You're just trying to get initial ranking up there, sales ranking, then keyword indexing, and then you're also trying to get a few more reviews, right, if you're just starting. Pro tip, make sure you're in the early reviewer program, especially if you're not at 5 reviews already. Go ahead and get in there at $60, which I know that's lame, it's not free, but it's super helpful. So what happens with this Amazon early reviewer program, which I can show you real quick where that's at. It's an advertising early reviewer program. And what happens here is Amazon will go ahead and actually email customers on your behalf to ask for honest reviews, which is crazy and cool because knowing the history of Amazon, especially since the review cleanse of probably 2 to 3 years ago. So that's super cool to kind of get them to email customers for you. One thing I did notice with the Amazon early reviewer program is they are pretty slow at emailing your customers. So don't get upset right away if you're not seeing reviews coming around. I've seen it take up to a month or 2 for them to start reaching out, but they always come in waves. So it'll be like a month and a half, oh, this didn't work, and then all of a sudden I'll get I've gotten up to 9 early reviewer reviews before, and they all came in within a week. So that means Amazon must have took all my customer list, blasted them emails, and they just happened to get 9 of them right away. And because they're only saying they're going to get you 3 to 5 or something like that. So that's why I also like to push these campaigns at the beginning, even if they're not profitable, because it'll give Amazon a bigger list to reach out to and get you more early reviewers. And then also another pro tip is to get on, I didn't list it here, I think I have it down below, get in an email autoresponder. That way you can start asking for reviews there, obviously non-incentivized, just kind of asking them for an honest opinion of what they think about your product. So definitely get on that. I use Feedback Whiz, but there's plenty of options out there. All right. Something to take into account here after the 4 to 7 days. If you're not seeing any clicks at all, you may need to raise your bids. If you're not getting impressions or clicks right away, it may be because your PPC for that niche, for those keywords you're trying to target, are just a little more competitive than others. And so you might need to raise your bids to kind of get any traction. It doesn't mean your product's a failure, but it's just kind of something to take into account that it can be a little more aggressive on some keywords compared to some. So definitely take a look at that after 4 to 7 days. If you are getting clicks like 20 plus, like per campaigns, but you have no sales after 4 to 7 days, you may want to make sure you're bidding on the right keywords and maybe even considering suspending your PPC until your listing has more reviews and is more competitive. Because that's usually what it is, right? So if someone sees your ad and they click on it, but they're like, no, we don't want this. Well, there's a couple possibilities of what's going on. One, they don't like your price. Two, they hate your listing. It's not good. Three, your photos aren't very attractive either. And then four, you don't have good reviews or enough of them compared to your competition. And so that's why I made a list of some assumptions for this to work. Your product has to have at least 3 to 5 reviews, 4.3 plus rating. You can use PPC to get these first reviews. Just turn on early review program and email autoresponder. If you're doing this with 0 reviews, your ACoS is going to be very high and your bids will have to be very high. But I always do this because I think it's worth it to get initial sales traction and to get as many reviewers in the email list that Amazon will send out to get as much reviews as possible. So, if you don't have a source of reviews, you don't have any reviews to begin with, this may be your only option to start to get reviews. That's just the way the Amazon world works now. You can't, you can do black hat ways. I don't recommend them, obviously, but there are black hat ways. This is the white hat way to do it and do it properly if you want your account in good standing and to keep selling on Amazon, and the way I always recommend. Next assumption for this to work: your product is priced competitively versus competition. If you have a higher price and less reviews, you're definitely not going to get any sales. Yeah, and then also you picked a product that isn't too saturated. Your listing has great photos, copy, and you are using competitive keywords for your listing and your backend, so you're indexing for all the proper keywords. Cool. So that's kind of how what you do. You're going to check in, right? This is just me talking about seeing your results, seeing your traction, what to do if you're not getting any results. There's 2 different ways. Maybe you're not getting clicks right away. Okay, raise your bids. Maybe you are getting clicks but no sales. Okay, you kind of to reevaluate your listing, kind of figure out, do I keep going with this or do I stop and make my listing more competitive before I do this again? The cool thing about this is you can just start over, delete all the other campaigns, do this over again. So those are the assumptions. Now get into the money makers. So step 3. This is after 7 to 14 days. You're getting sales. You're going to want to download your STR report. And what STR stands for is search term report. So I guess it's we got report there twice. You can find this report in your Amazon section. If you go to advertising reports. So what's going down here is we've got a report type, search term is what you want. Report period. What I do is I just go as far as I can back to get as much data. Now, if you do this a second, third time, what I do is I keep notes of what dates I use the STR and what dates I use to adjust the bids. And that way, I could go ahead and just download, the next dates from that point I made the note from. That way there's no overlap, everything's fresh, everything's new. This is especially important when you're updating bids. So you get a good steady ACoS, from the dates you're looking at, and then, you adjust your bids, and then you go ahead and try to adjust them again. You don't want that old data, right? So you want to have the dates at the last point you checked it to the point you're checking it now. So that's very important. But for this first time, we could just go ahead and apply the longest period possible to make sure we get all the data, because this is the first time we're doing this. So this will pop up right here. I'll say generating report. Once that's done, it will go ahead and have a download option here. It shouldn't take too long. And then that will turn up into an Excel sheet, kind of like the Viral Launch Excel sheet we had. And there goes, download right there. And this will go ahead and you can search this data just the way I did. What I do is I search by sales, and then you can see how many sales, you can see the ACoS, cost per click, you can see everything. And you can see all the keywords people are actually using to buy your product, which is what is very, very important for this method, and is the goal of this whole method. So going back, we're looking at the STR. This is where we can find the advertising reports section. Once STR is downloaded, you'll be able to open this up in an Excel sheet, sort by sales, see what keywords customers are using to buy your product. You will then take these keywords with sales and put them in an exact campaign. This is where you'll start to see results, right? You know, say lemon squeezer comes back, it's you're getting sales on it, but it's still like an 80% ACoS. Well, we're gonna go ahead and put that into an exact campaign, and we know it gets sales, right? That's all we care about in the beginning. But now it's about, you know, over time going ahead and figuring out what bids should be at, so we can get it down to 30 to 40% ACoS, so we can start to see some profit. And then after time, your views start to get up there, skyrocket. You'll go ahead and keep lowering it down, trying to figure out how you can get a lower ACoS. So it's just kind of like a kind of trial error type thing, and just making sure you're organized about checking it, steady with checking it. Check it once a week. That's what I do, and keeping on it. So I actually, when I put my keywords into exact campaigns, I put these bids just slightly above Amazon's suggested bid at first. Now, if this is lower than the phrase bid you've been doing, maybe go a little higher. Just make sure they're not too high to go over your 15 to 25% profit margin. If you're looking for reviews faster, sales ranking faster, again, feel free to go over that. This is just what I use as a standard kind of mark. But because that's my ultimate goal, right, is get to 15 to 25% profit margin. But again, in some competitive fields, it's not that doable until you get up there in reviews. So if you're just trying to rank, get initial reviews, go ahead and bump that up. Like I said, use your discretion for a budget and make sure the bid works out for your product, because it's different in every situation. Every PPC situation is different. Every product's different. So you're just going to want to make sure you kind of sit down, think about it, what's best for you, what you should be bidding. Pro tip. You'll want to put any super profitable exact keywords into its own campaign to further optimize. What I mean here is say we have like 10 to 15 keywords from the phrase campaigns that we're getting sales. We download the STR, we find those 15 keywords, and we throw them into one big exact campaign. So there's 15 keywords in one exact campaign. Now, sometimes for some reason, like I was talking about earlier, if you put 100 or the whole list into a phrase campaign, broad campaign, any campaign, for some reason Amazon will just go ahead and say these 50 aren't relevant. We're not going to give them any impressions for some reason. That's why I like to start small. Start with small ad groups. 15 obviously is still small, so you're still fine there. But eventually, when a keyword gets to be super profitable for you, and just a good one overall, and it has great ACOS, and it has over 1,000 plus searches per month, which you can just see on Viral Launch. You can go ahead and just go make a separate exact campaign. Put this keyword in there. That way, Amazon is not giving any other keywords in the big ad group any other attention. You're literally just focusing on one keyword, so you can adjust the budget, adjust the bid, and that's the only thing affecting that campaign. And so you can optimize even further, I've figured out. So definitely do that when you get to the right point. At first, it's not so important until you kind of get some steady ACoS and sales. So after you make your exact campaigns, you're going to want to turn down your discovery efforts a little bit. So meaning after you make the exact campaign, you'll want to lower your bids and potentially your budgets for your discovery campaigns. Again, use your discretion here, right? If they're making sales and finding more keywords, you may leave the bids slightly higher. But in most cases, these campaigns are inefficient and will have a high A cost just because they're not as efficient as exact campaigns. So use your discretion there. If they're doing well, having sales, go ahead and keep them up a little higher. If they're not so much, turn them down so you can save some money. You want to keep these campaigns going on some level though, right? You want to keep finding new keywords you can add to your exact campaigns. As your reviews, as your ranking goes up, you'll start seeing some different keywords you're starting to get impressions for because Amazon's now deeming you relevant for. So you want these to go at some level though. They will still be bidding on other keywords that could potentially go into your exact campaign and become your money makers. So definitely keep them going at some point. And that leads us into step 4, guys. Consistent updates to make a well-oiled PPC machine. You want to do this weekly. You'll want to check your A cost for your exact campaigns and adjust your keyword bids accordingly. So you'll just go back into your campaign manager, make sure your A cost is where it needs to be. If you know it's too high, keep lowering your bids until you find that sweet spot. If you're still ranking, don't worry about it. Just keep pushing sales. Again, it's up to you. Use your discretion here, but you want to check it weekly, right? Just make sure that's not a control. You're not spending a ton on one keyword for some reason. And so that way you can just keep getting better and better and better. And the ultimate goal is to have your A cost under your profit margin. So keep working towards that as you try to get you steady sales. So make sure you know your profit margin. Some people don't even know their exact profit margin for their product. So make sure you know the profit margin by heart and the percentage, and just keep adjusting your A cost until you can get it under that. If the A cost is under your profit margin, you know you're making money on that sale, and you have a target A cost for all your campaigns. It just makes things so much easier to know your profit margin and know what you're working for your A cost. You'll want to check on your discovery campaigns as well. So just make sure you download your STR, make sure you're seeing any new keywords you're finding and putting them into your exact campaigns, and then just kind of adjusting bids accordingly so you're not wasting a ton of money with your discovery campaigns during those times you have the exact campaigns going, right? I always usually keep my discovery campaigns going pretty steadily until I'm so confident that I found pretty much any profitable keyword for me. If it's a big niche with lots of keywords, I'll keep these going at pretty high. I don't care if I lose 10 to 20% on a product just because I want to find a new keyword, right? Then I can start to optimize that, and it leads to more sales down the road. So I'm still always trying to discover keywords for sure. You'll want to continue this process week after week. I do this every Monday for mine until you create a well-oiled PPC machine. All right, guys. So that's exactly what I do to get PPC started when I launch a new product. I launch new PPC campaigns for a new product. I start with discovery campaigns. We get a phrase, broad, auto campaign, see your results after 4 to 7 days. Make sure you're getting clicks. Move on to STR and exact campaigns and money makers. This is where you start to see real results, which is super exciting when you do this point. Then go ahead and just make sure you consistently update it to make it a well-oiled PPC machine, which is in fact a well-oiled money machine. Because you know the more sales you get under your A cost, your profit margin A cost, the more money you'll make overall. So this leads me into what I told you about earlier. This is a method I've been using now for a while since it's come out. I don't see a lot of people talking about it. I don't see a lot of people teaching it, and I've doubled my PPC sales with some products using these methods. So this is super exciting. So step 5, how to double your PPC sales with product page ads. Now, if you are not sure what product page ads are, what they are is, so we go into this product here, we go down, sponsored products related to this item. These are product page ads. This is where you're advertising with those ads. Why this is cool, I didn't know this until we started doing this, and I've learned more about it, but a lot of people use these ads to buy products. They're window shopping, they're browsing, they're trying to find the best one. They find a picture that catches their eye, and they dig into there. So it's crazy how many people use these ads to buy products. So that's what product page ads are. You're just literally, you see this ASIN up here. So you're targeting this ASIN, this product here, to be displayed here. Now, now this is cool now because the only way you used to do this was with an auto campaign, right? But it was inefficient. You never used to be able to bid on ASINs. So you start the auto campaign. I don't know if you're familiar with this. You get your STR. You see all these ASINs on there. Well, the auto campaign automatically started bidding on ASINs, and the only way you could kind of get it just bidding on those ASINs that are doing well without bidding on ASINs that were unprofitable and also keywords was to add negative keywords. Well, this is an endless process, and it's just too much, and it wasn't feasible. But now in the auto campaigns, you can use this new feature called Set Bids by Targeting Group. Now let's look at that, which is super cool. So we go into campaigns, create a campaign here. We're going to do sponsored products, and then we're going to do automatic targeting here. Let's just do, I do about 1532 when I'm doing this. What I really want to show you first before we do that is we go down here to automatic targeting. This is where you put your bid, right? We'll have this new feature, as you can see, new here. You go here and look at here. You can adjust your bid based on 4 different targeting groups. Close match, what this is going to be, lemon squeezer. If you're you have a lemon squeezer, it's going to be lemon squeezer large, lemon squeezer small, lemon squeezer yellow. It's going to be things super related to your product. Loose match is going to be like a more of a broad campaign. It's just going to be, maybe juicer or going into other lemon products. Maybe one of those lemon bottles you put the juice in and you can squeeze it and kind of put it all over your food. That's kind of what that's going into, complementary products of your product, but not close match products like other lemon squeezers. So I actually turn these off, right? Those are keywords. What I really care about, because I already have, I don't care about these keywords because I'm already doing that with the phrase and broad matches. And so what I care about are these 2 guys here, substitutes and complements. And so we'll show your ad to shoppers who use detailed pages of products similar to yours. So substitutes are other lemon squeezer pages. So you'll actually be bidding on other pages with lemon squeezers, citrus squeezers, things like that. Super cool because if your product has more reviews than theirs, it's a better price, better quality, better review rating, better listing, then you're going to steal some sales from them, which is awesome. And then complements are going to be, again, like your products that are related to it, so maybe your lemon bottle to squeeze stuff onto, or maybe other kitchen supplies that are similar to the product. So for substitutes, those are the most important to me. So I'll put in around 15 to 25% of my profit margin. I would, something to know here too, it's kind of inefficient at first, right? Because there's so many products on Amazon. Going back to here, you can see there's tons of options. So you are going to see a higher A cost at first, right? It's going to bid on a lot of different ASINs till it kind of figures it out. So maybe go on the lower side, maybe 15%, around that mark. And then complements, kind of treat these like your broad. I do like 52 cents here because, again, there's so many complementary products to something in the kitchen category that you can run through budgets here pretty quickly. Something I've done and started split testing. I haven't seen any real results yet, but I've started to make 2 auto campaigns, one with substitutes, one in complements, so I can kind of niche down even farther and get better results. But I will say these aren't as profitable at first as other campaigns, like the phrase campaigns, whatever. But the cool thing is, after 7 to 14 days of doing this, you can go ahead and get the STR, and then out of the 50 to 100 ASINs it's bidding on, you can find 2 or 3 profitable ones, and then you could go ahead and start a say it's this. Let's grab this ASIN. say, your product's bidding on this and it's at like a 60% ACoS, not great, but like, okay, there's something there, right? You have, 4 or 5 sales on it. It's doing well, and you want to kind of get it down. Well, you take that ASIN, right? And you'll go ahead and you say we complete this, right? Launch campaign. It gets going for 7 to 14 days. Budget, I like to keep around 10 to 15, and obviously label that as auto product pages and squeezer. You can add discovery here too if you want. So you get that going. It goes for 7 to 14 days. You find some ASINs. And then what you do is you treat these ASINs like exact keywords. And so you can go into sponsored products, and then this ASIN right here is the one we want to target, right? You can also put this in a bigger group, right? You can just do product pages exact and type in. If you have like 15 to 20 ASINs you want to do it at the same time, go ahead and do that. But for my most profitable ones, I'll just go ahead and make its own campaign for it. And product page, lemon squeezer. And I like to put exact here because then I can just type in exact in the search bar and it pops up all the ASIN exacts. Daily budget, start lower here, right? This is just one keyword. Maybe if it's really profitable, 32, maybe start like 7, 32, 5, 32. Manual targeting here. I just like to copy and paste in here. Add your product and then set your bid. Kind of see your cost per click on the STR for it. But again, stay in that 15 to 25% range, maybe on the lower side at first. So maybe we go 148 again and kind of go from there. And then product targeting. This is where it gets, it's crazy what this has done for the PPC world. So you can even do it by categories, right? It's more of a broad thing, but you can do categories for sure. Search here, you can kind of pick your category. Individual products. And so they do suggested here, and there's some to be suggested. You can search ASINs here. You can just enter a big list here too. So I usually, for some reason, sometimes this search feature or this enter list feature doesn't work. So I usually just have to do them one at a time. Maybe they'll work that bug out sometime. So I'll go ahead and search this ASIN, and then it'll pop up right here, and I'll hit target. And so now it's like its own little exact keyword. And so if it's at 60% ACoS, on the automatic campaign, I can move it over here and adjust the bid, get it down so it's at 20 to 30% ACoS. And why this is so exciting is because it's like, and it opens up millions and millions of new products, pretty much keywords, right? Each product is like a different keyword. So it gives you millions and millions of different options because there's millions and millions of Amazon's products. So this is something I've done. I've split tested a lot. I spent a lot of hours doing this because it just got me so excited. And I've got it down to where at first it's not very profitable because, right, I'm putting a huge net out, right, trying to find ASINs that work for my product. And then I'll go ahead and find the ASINs that are working for my product and then go ahead and put them in their own exact campaigns. And then I'm seeing sales like crazy. I'm getting ACoS down to one campaign's at 8% right now. I think right now, if not a lot of people know about this, so the bids are kind of low. Plus, I think bids will always be low for this because there's so many freaking products. So super cool. Definitely recommend everybody try this in their business. It's like finding a new keyword, but only for you, right? Just because your lemon squeezer works on a lemon juicer page like we saw, doesn't mean it'll work for another person's lemon squeezer. It's a weird thing how people buy, and so you're finding keywords pretty much that are just for you, which is super exciting. Like I said, I put my budget around 15, maybe sometimes $10, depending on what you have to spend. Let it run 7 to 14 days, grab the STR, find the ASINs that are working, put them in exact campaigns. I hope you see how awesome this is. I look at targeting ASINs just like I do keywords, right? So treat them like keywords. It's a little more work at first, but I'm sure there's be some tools that coming up to help you. I have used one tool to kind of do, I can put in my ASIN, right? You can do this in Viral Launch, Healing 10. You can put in your ASIN. You can find a bunch of products related to your ASIN, and you can put in like, I only want them to have 20 reviews or lower. I want them the price or $15 of higher, because you're looking for products that are worse than yours, right? To advertise on their page, because you have the upper hand and you'll get conversions there. So you'll find products similar to yours that have a higher price, lower reviews, lower review ratings, worse ratings, and then you can literally just test ASINs on your own, and it just goes on and on forever. And I think the capability of this process and this tool, this strategy, can double PPC sales. I've seen it do it from products of mine. If not, it's a great supplement to your PPC campaigns, and I think this is the way Amazon PPC is going. And so I definitely would get on top of that as soon as possible. I hope you guys like this video. I hope you guys can take a lot from it. So do a couple things for me. Follow these steps. Rewatch this video if you need to. Share with your friends. But also, I'll be putting videos like this out more and more of some how-to videos. So please subscribe down below. If you want to talk to me personally, just go ahead and click that little Facebook group link in the description below. I have an Amazon group where I post every day. You can message me, ask questions personally, and I always will respond and get back to you and help you as much as I can. But otherwise, guys, update those PPC campaigns, get more sales, get that ACoS down, turn into a well-oiled machine, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks a lot, guys.